Wouldn't it be great to manage your portfolio on one platform? Well, now you can trade all in one place on Robinhood. That means you can trade individual stocks and ETFs and also buy and sell crypto using seriously powerful and intuitive tools at one of the lowest costs on average without needing to manage multiple apps. Robinhood makes withdrawing and depositing crypto seamless. Send crypto to your Robinhood account or send crypto from your Robinhood account to other wallets without deposit or withdrawal fees from Robinhood. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Network fees may apply to crypto transfers. Crypto transfers may not be available to all customers. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
Una silla de masajes puede parecer extravagante. 8 configuraciones diferentes, intensidad ajustable, además es calefaccionado. Y se siente tan bien. Sí, una silla de masajes puede parecer extravagante. Y 2, bueno, aún más. Pero cuando esas sillas de masajes vienen con un auto, se vuelven bastante prácticas. El nuevo Volkswagen Tiguan 2025 con funciones premium como los asientos delanteros con masaje disponibles. Solo parece extravagante.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Running a business comes with a lot of what-ifs. But luckily, there's a simple answer to them. Shopify. It's the commerce platform behind millions of businesses, including Thrive Cosmetics and Momofuku. And it'll help you with everything you need. From website design and marketing to boosting sales and expanding operations, Shopify can get the job done and make your dream a reality. Turn those what-ifs into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
You're about to make a trade. Which you do you listen to? Is it get optioning those options? Or let's do a little research. Learn more at finra.org/trade-smart.
Welcome to the HCI family of podcasts. We're your source for personal, professional, and organizational growth and development. We share our own original research, explore industry trends, and interview executives and thought leaders from across the globe. Join us for practitioner-oriented content around all things leadership, HR, talent management, organizational development, and change management. Maximize your personal and organizational potential with the HCI family of podcasts.
Eczema isn't always obvious, but it's real. And so is the relief from Ebglyss. After an initial dosing phase, about 4 in 10 people taking Ebglyss achieved itch relief and clear or almost clear skin at 16 weeks. And most of those people maintain skin that's still more clear at 1 year with monthly dosing.
Ebglyss, lebrikizumab LBKZ, a 250 milligram per 2 milliliter injection, is a prescription medicine used to treat adults and children 12 years of age and older who weigh at least 88 pounds or 40 kilograms with moderate to severe eczema, also called atopic dermatitis, that is not well controlled with prescription therapies used on the skin or topicals, or who cannot use topical therapies. Ebglyss can be used with or without topical corticosteroids. Don't use if you're allergic to Ebglyss. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with Ebglyss. Before starting Ebglyss, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Searching for real relief? Ask your doctor about Ebglyss and visit ebglyss.lilly.com or call 1-800-LILY-RX or 1-800-545-5979.
Make your next vacation unforgettable. On Royal Caribbean's newest ship, Star of the Seas. It's everything you've loved about every family vacation you've ever been on, with mind-blowing thrills at the largest water park at sea, 7 onboard pools for every level of chill, more than 40 ways to dine and drink, and even more to enjoy at our award-winning private island, Perfect Day at Coco Cay. This is the new Star of the Seas. Click or tap the banner to find out more.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Checking off the boxes on your to-do list is a great feeling. And when it comes to checking off coverage, a State Farm agent can help you choose an option that's right for you. Whether you prefer talking in person, on the phone, or using the award-winning app, it's nice knowing you have help finding coverage that best fits your needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You set the table, put on a playlist, even made the lasagna from scratch. And now you're wearing it. OxyClean Max Force Spray tackles tough, set-in stains the first time. Adulting is hard. Fighting stains shouldn't be. OxyClean Max Force. It's not clean unless it's OxyClean.
Love espresso, drip coffee, and cold brew? With the Ninja Luxe Cafe, if you can crave it, you can brew it. Espresso, balanced. Drip coffee, rich. Cold brew in a flash. With Barista Assist technology, you brew with no stress and no guesswork and make perfect silky microfoam hands-free from dairy or plant-based milks. Shop the Ninja Luxe Cafe at ninjakitchen.com.
Today's top story, the flavor merger of the century between the Peanut Butter Group and Chocolatey Corp. Joining me is a PBC executive.
Thanks for having me, Barry.
Now, how did you know the merger and the byproduct of it, Jif peanut butter and chocolate flavored spread, would be a success?
You know, it was a gut feeling, a rumbling, if you will. Besides, they're two titans of taste.
Very true. Goes great with pretzels.
And pancakes.
Apples too, I bet. Try Jif PBC today.
Whether it's a movie night or just midday, Skinny Pop is a salty snack that keeps on giving. Made with just 3 simple ingredients for an irresistibly delicious taste and a large serving size that lasts. Deliciously popped, perfectly salted. Skinny Pop, popular for a reason. Shop Skinny Pop now.
This episode is brought to you by Diet Coke. You know that moment when you just need to hit pause and refresh? An ice-cold Diet Coke isn't just a break. It's your chance to catch your breath and savor a moment that's all about you. Always refreshing, still the same great taste. Diet Coke. Make time for you time.
Hit pause on whatever you're listening to and hit play on your next adventure. Stay 2 nights and get a $50 Best Western gift card. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at Best Western. Visit bestwestern.com for complete terms and conditions.
Lowe's knows tough jobs call for tougher tools. The new DeWalt Elite Series power tool accessories are built to last for the pro who doesn't stop. With precision fitment, durability, and impact resistance, finishing jobs faster has never been easier. Shop the new DeWalt Elite Series at an everyday low price exclusively at Lowe's. We help, you save.
The Jack Welch Management Institute at Strayer University helps you go from, I know the way, to I've arrived with our top 10 ranked online MBA. Gain skills you can learn today and apply tomorrow. Get ready to go from make it happen to made it happen and keep striving. Visit strayer.edu/Jack Welch MBA to learn more. Strayer University is certified to operate in Virginia by Chev and has many campuses, including at 2121 15th Street North in Arlington, Virginia.
With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
Ab DeWeese, welcome to the conversation today.
Thanks, Jonathan, for having me.
It's a real pleasure. You're joining us from Dallas. I'm south of Salt Lake City in Utah. And today we're going to be talking about collaborative AI in the workplace and rethinking how people in AI work together. This is a super important, super timely topic. I think everyone's wrestling with trying to figure out the upskilling around AI, both individually and for their teams. And, we're wrestling with displacement potential. We're wrestling with hiring questions, around replacing people as they leave. There's just all sorts of questions around AI and how to use it effectively. And I'm a big believer in learning how to utilize the tool in a collaborative, human-centric way. And I'm just excited to talk with you and have a good conversation around collaborative AI in the workplace. As we get started, I wanted to share Ab's bio with everybody. Ab DeWeese is a serial entrepreneur, AI educator, and author of Essential AI, your all-in-one QuickStart to using AI in business and the workplace. He's also the creator of CollabChat AI, a platform designed to help teams work with AI and each other to produce better, more reliable results. So today we're going to be talking about what HR leaders need to know about creative AI and how it reduces risk, strengthens decision making, and helps people stay at the center of innovation. Ab, anything you would like to add by way of your background or personal context before we dive on in?
No, man, I'm really excited. I have such a passion for helping people not be afraid of this amazing future that's in front of us. So I can't wait to talk about it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, let's just start off kind of basic. AI is obviously quickly becoming the workplace tool. But what really does collaborative AI mean to you, and what does it mean for HR leaders specifically?
Yeah, so I guess for me, collaborative AI means working together to learn how to use something. Teamwork makes the dream work, right? So the people working together learn things faster, right? If I grunt and point and say fire, or I grunt and point and like teach you how to use the tool, like this is how people learn. This is how people work together. This is how we transfer information. And so, what better way to learn AI than to sit down with someone, whether you're sitting down with them virtually or side by side, to learn how to use this stuff. And this kind of the darker side of this is as organizations, if we're not getting in front of this and we're not making these tools available to our workforce, they're going to do it anyway. You guys have probably heard of shadow AI. That's the AI that's in the workplace that you don't know about because it's not supposed to be. Maybe it's them accessing a tool on the web, or maybe it's maybe it's just using this right here, right? Because I can pull this phone out and just use AI from my pocket. So the point of collaborative AI is you want to reduce the risk of misusing it, right? And there's a lot of different ways that people can misuse it. But if you have people work together, especially if you have junior people and senior people working together, you're able to have some oversight on the way that it's used, and more importantly, the quality of what comes out, which is really what's more important, is how do we get the most out of these things so that we're using it to generate something that's more beautiful and more effective as opposed to just a bunch of AI garbage.
Yeah. And there's plenty of that, right? It is such a great tool. It can produce so much wonderful material. It can augment, what people can do and the expertise related to their positions. But man, if there's not oversight, there's a lot of garbage that comes out of it. Now, you mentioned shadow AI. Before we talk about the garbage piece a little bit more, because I think that's important. Let's talk about the shadow AI piece a little bit. Why is that a problem for organizations? And how can they avoid the shadow AI effect?
Yeah, I mean, so the thing is, it is such a useful tool. It's gonna find its way into the workplace. So to try to put a dam up and keep the ocean at bay is a pretty daunting task. Like it's coming. And so appreciating that it's coming is, I think, the kind of the first step. And so if we attempt to wall it off and keep it out, it's going to show up as shadow AI, right? And so then what do we do about it? Like how can we solve that problem and bring it in a way that's meaningful? Well, it means knowing that it's coming. Well, let's have a plan in place to bring it in. Let's bring AI in a structured way where we have some control over the situation. As a father of young girls, my girls are going to grow up and they're going to date, right? And I could try as I like to keep all the boys at bay, or I can do my best to make sure that the ones that come to our house are the ones that I want to be there, right? So it's no different, right? So as AI is coming into the workforce, it's incumbent upon you, dear leader, right, to get ahead of it, have a plan, and have something that they can use where you don't necessarily have to control all of their interactions, but you make sure that they're surrounded by a good peer group and responsible people that will give them good oversight if you can't read every message.
Yeah. And maybe it's obvious to everyone in the audience, but maybe speak to the issues, the challenges, the problems that occur when people are leveraging shadow AI instead of going through more proper channels.
Yeah, well, I mean, the biggest one is if they're hiding it, you're not going to know about it, right? So you're not going to know about it until it's too late. But the biggest risk of shadow AI is really not because AI is shadowy. It's more that most people, not just rank and file all the way up through senior leaders, most people really misunderstand. They misunderstand the immense power that AI brings, and then they completely misunderstand how it constantly falls short and falls on its face. And because they're not adept, and this isn't everyone, but those that are not adept at AI, and they don't know how to apply the scrutiny. They don't know to be skeptical. They don't know to not trust everything that it says. They fall into the trap of just believing everything that comes out, and they put that work out as their own. And you see countless news articles and countless headlines of big mistakes that people make, where lawyers cite cases that don't exist. But things as simple as I'm not gonna name the guilty, but one of our clients, there's a young engineer and a senior engineer, and the young engineer created a whole bunch of output and got it from AI. It was actually an internal AI system that the company had, so this is not even a case of shadow AI. It's an internal system the company had, and the junior engineer thought, well, because I'm using this system that's blessed by the company, I can trust verbatim everything that comes out of it. And so she passed off this work, this requirements document, which is completely wrong. And a review and oversight from a senior person was able to rectify that. But if had he been in the loop as AI was guiding her through this process, he would have been able to avoid a lot of strife. So let's take this into a shadow AI case where it's not just a company blessed, company tuned and company trained AI. It's just one that's off the shelf, that's available on their phone or through some website. Then this person is going to think they're doing a great job quickly producing something valuable, when in fact they're producing the wrong thing. And if they don't have typical checks and balances like you have in more mature organizations, then that work is going to make it out in front of your customers or sent out to your vendors, and it's just going to create problems. And some of these are paper cuts, and some of them cut a little more deeply depending on what's at stake. But it's looking at this use, at scale across the organization, where it really starts to make a big impact.
Yeah. And there's the security issue, right? So if people are, using shadow AI, off the shelf stuff that's not sanctioned by the organization, and maybe they're sharing organizational documents or data or things like that can become a security problem. I mean, there's lots of things.
If you don't mind, let me jump on that for a second. So it's a really good point, because even brand name, world, household name, AI systems, if you configure them the right way, there's no security risk. But if you don't know to configure them the right way, then you're unknowingly exposing all this proprietary company data to these companies. So not only can they train their AI, but you've got your proprietary data on their servers, right? And sometimes that might be a HIPAA violation, that may be a client confidentiality violation, that might be a government, international traffic and arms regulation violation, right? So these are real risks, and it's smart for you to bring them up.
Yeah. Now let's get back to the garbage AI. It's kind of come up in your examples too. Like, people are too reliant on the outputs, and it's funny. You can watch all sorts of videos, of teachers talking about the crappy essays they get from students who like copy and paste, the AI output. So those are funny, and a bit alarming, because we have to realize, okay, how do we better train, if students are going to use them, how do we train them to use it effectively? How do they monitor the output and quality check it and ask the right questions? I think we've all seen that, in those types of videos for schools. The same kind of thing applies to organizations, right? Because employees are using it too, and they're trying to be as productive as possible, and they have KPIs, and they want to have good output and blah, blah, blah. So there's all these reasons why, people would use it, and used effectively, then it really can enhance what you're doing. Like, it really can be a game changer. But not used effectively, not without the guardrails in place, you really do get garbage output. Maybe talk through, like, what are some of the key things that we need to be watching out for, and how we can really collaborate with AI rather than just like wholesale outsourcing our work to AI.
Yeah, no, it's really smart. And I like to summarize it all with the word lazy. If you're lazy with it, you're like, write me a thing, and you copy and paste it and send somebody. Like that's a really lazy use. And it's not so much garbage in, garbage out. It's more like it's like lazy in, garbage out, right? Or low effort in, garbage out, right? And it's the discipline to sort of, to take what comes out and make it your own, put the work in. So from a collaborative standpoint, if you've got other people in the loop, they're not going to let you get away with your junk, your garbage. You're like, hey, can you look at this for me? You're like, this is a bunch of junk. Like, this doesn't look any good. Maybe make it look like this. Or somebody tells AI to make me a thing, and then I look at it and I tell AI, great, make it red, make it, or can you turn that inside out, or can you restate that in this tone, and maybe remove the bullet points. Make this sound less like a language model. I like to do things like more cowbell, or just kind of throw curveballs at it to make it a little more human. But it really, like the garbage, it kind of comes in two forms. One, it's laziness, and the other is inaccuracy. So not everybody understands. If you don't mind, and just to educate the listeners for a second, all these things do is guess the next word. They're phenomenal next word guessers. They guess the next word. They're amazing at guessing words such that the words that they string together mimic the patterns of human speech. They're very good at writing things that sound like something someone would say, and they are notoriously inaccurate. They're not factual. They're not encyclopedias. It's not a reference. It doesn't. You can anchor these things in ground truth, but at the end of the day, all they do is guess what sounds plausible. And so because of that, you've got to stay vigilant and look at the output and make sure that you believe what it's saying. So here that word lazy sort of shows back up again. If you take the output and you don't take the time to think about it, or have someone, if you lack the expertise to review it, have someone else who's the expert to review it, or go and do the work of reading third-party references yourself to make sure that what it's saying and where it's pointing you to is accurate. Like, these are all the things that come into notions of garbage AI. Like, so one of our clients makes an AI system for use in medicine, and the outputs need to be reviewed by doctors. Period. End of story. Full stop. And in the beginning, you set up very rigorous verification and validation processes where you get a large sample of the outputs. You have a lot of different doctors review them, and you make sure that the error rate is sufficiently low, meaning what the doctor thinks and what the AI says are in sufficiently good agreement. And then once you have that in place, well, then it's still incumbent upon you as the organization to sample, 1 out of every 100 or 1 out of every 1,000, whatever the right rate is, AI outputs, and make sure those are accurate. And a failure to do that at the organizational level is another way of being lazy. And that's how you kind of monitor and prevent the garbage. And it's really as simple as looking at what comes out of this thing. And if I may, and people will say, why would I look at everything that comes out of AI? Doesn't that defeat the purpose of using AI to automate this stuff? And the answer is, you don't have to look at everything. In the beginning you do, but as you gain more confidence and you have the rigor to demonstrate that, you can have less and less and less oversight, but you still need some. So those are kind of the themes.
Yeah, because there's still, like, the models are getting better for sure, and some of the newer releases, really blow my mind when I see, like, start to even scratch the surface of what they can do. But there's still hallucinations. There's still just, like you said, it's guessing the next word, and so there's just it will put out stuff that looks like it fits. And if it doesn't know, it'll just make something up, right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Well, okay. So tell us more now about your platform. You've built a platform focused on people plus AI teamwork. What have you seen to be some of the most compelling use cases inside of organizations?
Yeah, so I can give you just a few examples, and you'll see there's a theme here. It's really simple. You might have like a senior law partner that is reviewing the output or the AI interaction of a junior associate. You got an associate lawyer who turns to CollabChat to try to rough in a draft of a document, and as that conversation is taking shape, the junior lawyer went ahead and added the senior lawyer to the thread so that the senior lawyer is able to watch it, and as it's taking shape, So no, you need to turn left a little bit right here. Kind of point it in a slightly different direction. Another example of that is in software engineering. So you might have a senior developer come in, start a thread with CollabChat that says, I need you to build a blah 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 application, and that the senior dev is able to speak very succinctly, use acronyms, abbreviations, and speak through her fingers really fast. So she's going to articulate this vision and then say, now put together a step-by-step plan. And then she invites the young developer in here and says, go do those things. Right? So she saved her a ton of time to articulate this vision. She gets it out quickly. And then, CollabChat, she's able to have CollabChat break down the steps. Well, as it's breaking down the steps, step 3 might be different from what her vision was, and she can kind of tune it as it goes. Invite the junior dev in, junior dev goes and does the things. And when he has questions about how to make a design decision or how to debug something where he's stuck, now he's got this fully built up conversation that he can ask questions into, and she's already in it. So she gets notifications, she sees where he's stuck, and it's not so much him collaborating with AI or her collaborating with AI. It's literally them collaborating together to get the most out of AI. So those are a couple of examples, right? And I'll throw a third one out there. It's you got a sales professional who's kind of game planning how to go attack, like how to get at a prospect. And they're putting this game plan together. Well, the sales leader is in the conversation, is able to see and just slightly tune both the AI recommendations and what this sales professional is putting together so that you get to the right output faster.
Yeah, and that's the key, right? Is getting there faster. It doesn't mean it's going to do everything for you. It's going to solve everything for you. It can if you monitor it, if you train it correctly, if you quality control it. It can help you start to consistently get there faster. Which is really cool, right? So then that's where the conversations around displacement start to come in. Like if we can reliably get good outputs, good tasks, AI agents and such, and get reliable processes, reliable outputs, then all of a sudden you can, start to even think about how do we displace certain tasks or certain roles, and that starts to scare people to death, right? But it, really not dissimilar to any other major technological breakthrough or tool that we've seen over the years. Every single time there's a new tool, it potentially displaces certain tasks, whether we're talking about a new computer program or, the wheel, anything does that for us. And so we're constantly in this space of trying to figure out how to utilize the tool effectively, try to be that human-centric kind of checkpoint for the tool that's being utilized, because that's always going to need to be there. There's always going to need to be that quality control. There's always going to need to be the who's training the AI, who's making sure that the outputs are where they need to be, who's that expert, right? That's the sticky point. That's the tricky thing right now. Where do you see that going and developing in the coming years?
Yeah, I think, people are always scared of change, right? People are scared of new things. They're scared of, not really new things, they're scared of the unknown. And especially when the unknown is, when you don't understand it, and then it might potentially, you're worried it might hurt you. It's easy to be afraid of that. And so one of my clear answers is, and this is one of the reasons I built CollabChat, is because if I'm standing at the edge of the dark forest and I have to walk in there, right, and I don't have a choice, I would feel so much more comfortable if I have a friend at my side. So being able to work and to be able to approach this thing with a friend just makes it a little less scary. Well, what would be better than that if my best friend walks out of that forest and says, "Hey man, come on back in here, it's safe," right? And so that's one way to kind of lower some of the fear of approaching these things. The other thing that I'm really excited about is eventually everyone will have been exposed to AI use on a very regular basis. It hasn't happened yet. I tend to think everyone's using it every day, but then I realize I can kind of live in an echo chamber, and there's, for every person that's out there using it every day, there's probably, 8 or 9 or 10 that haven't touched it yet. And I've got to constantly remind myself that there are lots of people out there that are just getting started with it. So,
or to add to that, maybe they are using it, but they're not using it in any sort of sophisticated way, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. If you're dabbling and you got to start somewhere, you got to start to figure out how to utilize it. But I really do think the number of people who are like really leaning in and using AI as a collaborative tool in a sophisticated way is probably pretty darn small at this point.
Yeah, I think you're right. And the good news is the people that are dabbling in it, they've already taken the first step. And there is no substitute for talking to, it doesn't matter which AI system you talk to, spending the time talking, and when I say talking, I mean through your fingertips, right? Talking through your fingertips, interacting with these things, conversing with them. It's just like you meet a person after you've had several conversations with a person, you get a sense of who they are and who they aren't, what they can do, what they can't, where their strengths and weaknesses are, what they're good at, what they're bad at, what they like, what they don't like. That just comes with familiarity and spending time talking. And AI is no different. The more you interact with these things, the more comfortable you're going to get with them. And the more you're going to realize what they can't do, the more you're going to appreciate how you have to have a skilled person in the driver's seat. The more you use them, the more you'll begin to realize, oh, this thing's not going to replace me. It needs me. I'm the pilot. This jet doesn't fly itself. Sure, when I get it to altitude, there's an autopilot, but I've got to stay in the cockpit because if something goes wrong, I need to be there. And when it's time to land the plane, it's my job, right? I've got AI doesn't work without a skilled person at the helm. And you don't get to deeply appreciate that until you've spent enough time talking with these things. So I'm excited about the future because as people become more and more and more exposed to it, they'll become less and less fearful, and they'll begin to have that sense of agency. And just like the computer that was supposed to delete all these jobs ended up bringing tons and tons and tons of prosperity, AI is the same way. And right now people are afraid, and I feel like I'm on a mission to just give people the confidence and the simplicity to go like headlong into this brave new future. And I'm really, really, really excited about it. And I'm on a mission to just remove the fear and empower people.
Yeah, I love it. Well, this has just been a super fun conversation. I know we've only scratched the surface. There's so much more to be said about everything we've talked about today. But Ab, it's been a real pleasure to be with you. As we start to wrap up, I just want to give you a chance to share with the audience how they can connect with you, find out more about your work, and then give us the final word for today.
Yeah, thanks. So you guys can find me at abdeweese.com. That's AB DeWeese, DEWEESE.com. And check out my book, Essential AI. I make this stuff really approachable. You're welcome to use CollabChat. It's a free tool. And if you guys need help from my team or me, as from a leadership or implementation standpoint, be happy to help. And if you just have questions about AI, follow me on LinkedIn, reach out. I'd love to help you.
Awesome. Ab, thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure. I encourage the audience to reach out, to get connected, find out more about what Ab and his tools, his resources can do for you. And as always, I hope everyone can stay healthy and safe, that you can find meaning and purpose at work each and every day. And I hope you all have a great week. Thanks for joining us for this episode of the podcast. We hope you stay healthy and safe, and please join us again soon.